Loktar friends. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Orca Mode workout. It's Monday, so we did a little bit of micro loading. I'm not gonna lie, squats are getting hard right now. Part of it is my hip is really fatigued, my right hip. Again, I'm doing the high bar beltless squats now. I'm trying to stay a little upright more, which really makes my quads work super hard. It's killing my quads, plus I've added in cardio. So, it's being challenging right now. Like the squats are actually pretty challenging. Even though I'm only working like with this week with 440 and then did my back off sets with 370 paused, it feels heavy. This feels to me as heavy as the 485 did doing low bar with a belt on. We're going to keep bumping it up because I'll adapt. But I think particularly with the cardio and the back off work added in, it really kind of creates some additional fatigue that really, really makes it challenging for me. But that's okay because that's what it's all about. It is about being challenging. It is about challenging ourselves to do better, and some of this, even though I'm training with very heavy weights and very low reps, a lot of this has to do with improving work capacity. And sometimes you just have to live with the fact that when you're adding a little bit of cardio in and you're doing back off work, it will have a certain amount of volume there that's going to create fatigue. And sometimes you have to just fight through it. You've got to do some extra stuff to help with recovery. Again, I like my massagers. I got two of them now. I got two of the handheld massagers, so I can put one on each quad and dual wield them like a Fury Warrior. And yeah, that's for the WoW players, they'll understand. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. Extra hot baths, extra sleep, just trying to recover from all of it. Because again, it's a lot of workload. I mean, I do right now, it's basically, if I get everything done, 6 heavy singles that are near max effort with 12 sets of pause back off triples every week. It's basically 18 work sets. And that's not counting some of the ramp ups. I mean, one of my last ramp ups is at 90% with a single. So that, if we're going to talk about like Prelepin's chart, we're still dealing with a 90% rep right there. And I got 6 of those, 5 to 6 of those every week on top of it. So, I mean, if we really want to talk about work sets in the 1 to 3 rep range, we're talking about 4 a day, 24 work sets, really. We count that last ramp up, which I guess if we use the charts, we're supposed to. That's a lot considering I'm doing list cardio on top of it, plus I'm deadlifting. It's a lot to deal with. But that's okay. That's okay because, again, I've just got to rest harder. Train hard and then rest harder, guys. Because, again, recovery is the name of the game when messing with a system like this. It really is. And, I feel like I'm adapting okay. I mean, I'm just doing it. I'm putting in the work. It's challenging right now. I'm not going to stand there and say it's easy for me to do this every day. It's not. And I'm in the perfect life situation to do it. I mean, other than my age, I'm 41. But you take that out, I mean, I'm in a situation where I can structure my life around my training and recovery. So that's a good place to be in. So that's why I do it. Like there are times when I kind of go, man, I don't want to do this. I want to quit. But then I realize, that's the lazy way out. I'm in a situation to maximize my recovery. I can't just quit because it gets hard. I mean, what's that? What would that say about me? There's a lot of people who think that's who I am out there. And I'm not going to let them win. I'm going to keep doing it. Because I want to be the best version of myself possible. I want to be the orkiest orc I can be, right? It means I need to get more cock diesel. My scale is pretty well stalled for now. I've got the DEXA scan coming. Yeah, I know. I know I'm going to be leaner on the DEXA scan. The question is going to be how much muscle did I gain ultimately? Again, it is what it is. But, hopefully I'll be able to strip a little bit more weight off. Before the DEXA scan comes up, that's all fat loss. I don't want to see any loss of muscle or water. We want to have seen muscle gain with a loss of fat and body weight. That's the ideal. That's the ideal. That's what we're shooting for. And that's not easy to do as an advanced lifter, particularly without having the right pharmaceutical help, if you know what I mean. And I don't. I mean, I wish I could get away with it. I'll be honest, guys, I don't have an ethical issue with that at all. It's a health concern for me at this point. I carry too much body weight. I'm rubbing my hip there. It's a little sore from the squatting. I just carry too much body weight for me to go blasting a bunch of trend and stuff. I mean, God knows I'd love to. I'd love the effects. I really would. I'm I'm not willing to take the risk with my health. I'm just not at this point. I wish it wasn't so harmful to your health at my age. I wish it wasn't, but it is. So, I've just got to sleep harder, train harder, eat better. That's all I can do. Increased bench this week, and it was easy. We went up to the 330 today, and then I went up to 290 on my back off sets. I'm happy with it. This was no more than an RPE 9. No more than RPE 9. I feel like I could have done 10 more pounds today. So the bench is going up now, and that's what I try to tell people. People are like, your bench hasn't moved. You haven't done anything with it, because I wasn't trying. I was just doing a single every day. I was trying to work on my squatting. I was trying to work on my other lifts. Now I can put some effort into the bench. The bench gets more training volume than anything else I do every week. And what happens? I've increased the volume, and it's going up every single week. I'm adding 2.5 pounds. It may keep going for a little while. This may not stop, because I've been leaving it in reserve for so long that now that I'm putting the volume in, now that I built the base with the overhead pressing and the rowing and everything else, I've built all the musculature I need to support the bench. Now I can really train it and go ahead and bring it up. Same thing, this pause bench work was not that bad. The first set was actually the heaviest, but sometimes it's because I'm still kind of ramping down from that heavy single, my nervous system. And it seems like sometimes my second set of these oftentimes feels like it's the lightest, because I've had a little more recovery time by then from my nervous system and the heavier single. And it seems like my second set just flies every time. Sometimes the third one feels light. Sometimes the third one feels a little heavy. But yeah, today the first one felt heavier, and then the second and third back off were just easy. All three done with 290, all three of them done with a pause. And I try to pause a little longer on the last rep, because some of those they're short pauses. They're still legit straight up pauses, but they're shorter. And I notice when I get near the end, like that third set on the third rep, I like to pause a little longer just to make sure I'm building that power out of the bottom. But yeah, the bench is going up nicely now. Bench is going up nicely. And like I said, I mean, I'd like to be at 350 by the end of the year on the bench. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I'm not going to cry if I'm not at 350. I'd like to get there, and I think it might be within reason. Depending on how much weight I end up losing by the end of the year is going to be really what's going to determine it. I might fall short because of weight loss if I push the diet a little harder coming into the winter. So we'll see how it goes. I'll play it by ear, and I get what I get. The hook grip today, I decided not to go real heavy. I stopped at 485 and went ahead and did a double, because the first one felt easy, and I'm like, I just don't want to load more weight on the bar today. This is just kind of, again, building my hook grip. I pull a little heavier with straps. I'll pull with straps a little heavier tomorrow. So I did a double, 485. The second one, though, I started to lose the hook a little bit. And I noticed it had taken all of the chalk off my thumbs. All those areas that wear, it had stripped all the layers of chalk all the way down to the skin. It probably took a thin layer of skin. It was probably that second rep, which you guys will see in a minute. But overall, I was happy with it. Again, hook grip's coming along. We'll see where it's at by the end of the year, and then we'll see where we go with it next year. Start seeing some, by next year, we'll start seeing some over 600 pound pulls with the hook grip. I'm looking forward to that. I know you guys are looking forward to that. See my old ass hook gripping over 600 on some legit beltless pulls. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see. But, it takes time. It takes time to get there with these things. It's just about patience, guys. You can't be greedy. When you start getting greedy with the weight, that's when you get hurt. Even if your goal is to get maximally strong, man, you have to keep things in reserve. You have to be patient. And then after this, I decided just to do some pull-ups. And no, I didn't do many. I did them from a dead hang, and they're medium grip. I keep them shoulder width. People say, why? Because it's easier on your shoulder joints, and you got to pull a little further. It requires a little more muscle fiber recruitment. And why? Just to finish my back off. If you guys notice, I still have my deadlift bar set there. Pretty much just trying to get the camera set. I got the camera raised a little bit, moved the bench out of the way, and just knocked out 6 quick ones from a dead hang. It really, really finishes off my back. After doing some deadlifting, something like pull-ups or chin-ups, they're very hard to do after deadlifting, and it really, really finishes your back off. It's just a nice little finisher, and it's a good full body exercise. It works everything but the legs, and it's just an all around good movement. I just want to do something different today. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.